Okay, great. Thanks for joining today's call. And the first agenda item is the implementation need. Derek and Malakron, can you guys take lead on this item?
Okay, from this side, okay, from this side, this week we have been testing the registration form. We have found that it is working well. Next week we are planning to take. This week also we have tested device management. We have found it is working pretty well. So next week we want to take also to introduce the device management to oncology people. At least we want to see with Griffins whether so that they can use also the device management in their Samsung Galaxy Tab. Also next week we plan to finish on testing on Monday and Tuesday using the new APK that Win has generated. We hope also we will have the new O mode so that we can upload it to the server side, so that we can use the updated APK and the new O mode on the server side.
Great.
Also, for the luck linkage and retention tools, there is still some few comments that Rotich suggested. So we hope that probably Monday or Tuesday we will be through testing the changes that will be made, so that hopefully we go for rollout. Also, for devices that are set up, I will have to upgrade the APK because we have a new APK, so I have to maybe Wednesday upgrade the other devices that are set up with the new APK. So that is it from me.
Yeah, just FYI to everyone, Win has compiled a new APK and also OMOP, and they are available on the Dropbox. So please try to use them for further testing and confirm some of the fixes that the APK and also OMOP included. It'll be nice to hear feedback from you guys and then update the relevant tickets. And I think Shrita has already updated the comments and feedback from the LAC linkage and retention tools on the Jira. She already posted updates on that, and then she has a few comments and questions that need further clarifications. So it'll be helpful if Malakwan and Derek, you guys can help to provide those answers on the Jira so that everything in the same place. So one thing I want to inform you guys, the mUzima test server is currently done. I think it's caused by the Linux restart yesterday evening, and then so after that, it's not like we restarted it. I think it's just a maintenance thing from the Linux, and then somehow after the restart, the mUzima test server is not up correctly. So we'll ask Win to restart the mUzima test server so the testing can continue. So Derek, do you have anything to add?
Not much from my side. I just joined in a minute ago.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
So Malakwan gave us an update on in terms of the implementation activities. So okay, so anyone have any more comment or question on the implementation needs? If not, we will go into the discussions, the design discussions for the registration queue as well as the error queue. So right now the workflow is that when you create a registration form on device as if there's a new client, and then it will submit through the mUzima registration module, and it needs some sort of process to resolve them, because right now, let's say that on the test server we have, I think, like 5 or 6 new clients record that need to be resolved. On the current UI, there's no action buttons anywhere that for us to help to say, hey, this is really a true case as is a new client record, or it might be there might be a like existing client record in the system that it needs to be merged. So I want to hear from you guys that if you have any suggestion how this UI page should look like.
This is Lawrence.
Oh, hey, Lauren.
Hey. So are you talking about the proposals for the error resolving UI?
Yeah, so it's 2 parts. There's resolution for the registration request, and then also there's a resolution for the error. So now I want to talk about, first thing first is the new registrations.
Okay.
So if you go to the registration module, mUzima registration module, you can see the new client record. There is just, those messages is still there. So it requires some kind of resolution before they can, we can create a new record in the system, or it should be merged to existing record in the system. So I want to hear from you guys how how you would like this UI look like. And I know that Lawrence and also Malakwan, you guys should have a lot of thoughts about this, because this is really like part of your work. It's affecting part of your work.
Yes, it is. And okay, maybe just to get it clear, does it mean, did you mean that all registration forms submitted from the field are gonna have to be resolved before processing is done on them?
Hey, Win, do you do the simple patient the record merge in the server side before it put into the registration queue?
Yes, I think it should be.
Yeah. So we do have like a simple patient record, algorithm to say that, oh, whether this might be like existing patient record or not. However, our algorithm is quite simple, that it doesn't include those sophisticated, algorithm, just like the patient matching or red match. So it requires a manual review process just to double check whether, maybe just like a phonic thing, like it sounds the same but it's spelled differently. However, our simple algorithm would not catch those currently. So that's why those registration messages would go to the special queue, need to be triaged and resolved.
Yeah.
Ada, can you hear me?
Yes, Shrita, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a very small question. Actually, this may be like much in the future of mUzima, but I just want to understand, given that we are really implementing the fingerprinting, won't that be preventing a lot of, because I'm just trying to figure out if we make these changes to the UI today, right, based on what how the system is working currently, based on this algorithm, and then I'm not sure when the fingerprinting will be integrated into mUzima, but when that comes in, it will change the workflow quite a bit, is what my understanding is. So should we factor in fingerprinting, or should we just treat it as, this is how it's going to be for some time? So
yeah, so I think that's a very good point, Ashwita. So for programs that they include fingerprint technology in the future, that would resolve a lot of issues. However, it will still encounter similar challenges. Let's say that they even collect fingerprint information on the field, but then they don't connect to the server in real time because there's a limited set of client records on the in the local repo. But then if and then some of them might not be just in a timely manner, things like that. So it still needs some kind of like error resolution. But I do agree with you that hey, maybe it would provide a more like accurate identification piece of information for the simple merging algorithm on the server side. But not every program would include fingerprint as part of the data collection. So that would create the same challenge that we're currently facing.
Right. So, Ida, I'm just asking from. I mean, whenever I think of the UI, for me especially, I think a good place to start would be to figure out how the users are using the system today. So, is there anyone on the call who actually does this kind of error resolution on the registration error queue?
Hey, Lawrence, maybe you can comment on this. I think Lawrence might be the most experienced one on this part.
Shweta, just go say that again. Sorry.
So, Lawrence, I just wanted to understand, like, what are the kind of errors that you see? Like, do you see a lot of duplicate registration? Do you see errors where some required fields are missing? What kind of errors do you see happening a lot?
So,
And how to actually maybe I don't know, maybe this is I don't want to put you on the spot, but if it would be great if not today, but maybe in the next call or so, if you could just show us a registration queue with some errors on it, and this is how I'm using it, and this is what I don't like. I'm doing this multiple times over and over again. So we can actually take a look at how you're doing it and what is the information that is available, and then we can probably come up with design ideas to look at how the screen should be, designed in such a way that it makes it much easier for you to resolve errors.
yeah, actually, that makes sense. We just Simon just logged into the test server, and we just looked at the registration. We just viewed the registration. We hadn't seen this before, and I think it's actually good. We already have an interface that we can use. So I think any meaningful feedback can come in the next call, because we are planning to sit on Tuesday and go through the changes we made on the registration form. So I think we can spare an extra 30 minutes and go through this registration bit. Then I think we'll give more substantial feedback on that. But the main errors we tend to experience with the registration form is duplication. That looks like it's going to be a big problem.
What was the big problem?
Sorry?
What did you say the big problem is?
So far, Malakwen, how many do we have that are duplicates? Well, 56. Yeah, I think we have like around 56 right now, 56 duplicate registrations. That is from the error queue in production.
So let's say that duplication, do you mean that there are already existing records in the system, and it got caught in the error queue instead of like through the registration module?
So I think in this group, unless we take time again and break that down, but I think it's a combination of two issues. Other people already have, like the universal IDs assigned already existed with a different patient in the system.
Mm-hmm.
And then others are patients that already exist.
So patient already exists, and then if the demographic looks like the same client, I don't think it's a problem. It just need So it just need to, one, improve the algorithm of merging. Two, it still require manual review, just like the patient matching module. Because the algorithm can only catch certain things but cannot catch everything. So it still require like someone review and resolve the registration queue on a daily basis.
Ada, I just want to ask this question about. I'm not very sure about what you mean when you say merge.
So let's say that. Just look at the screen right now. So let's say that number 5, I just create like a record for myself just for testing. So because the system somehow did not catch my name, let's say that I'm just making it up. Actually, I have a record already exists in the system. And now I submit a new registration form for myself again. Maybe there's a typing error or some kind of typo on my name, or my birthday was a little bit off or something like that. So the system would say that, hey, we don't feel confident enough that this record really belongs to the same record that already in the system. So if it is, they would just, you remember we talked about right now when we create like a new record on the device, it would assign like a temporary UUID. And then if we find the exact match on the system, it would grab the person UUID and then update this record. And the next time when you sync it, it would you would get the original UUID and demographic information, things like that, if there's no conflict. However, especially things like birthday, things like that in Kenya, it's not always really accurate, because most of the time people will say, "Oh, when you ask the question, what is your date of birth?" they will say, "I am 50 years old." So people just put 50 years old and then just estimate their birthday, so it's not always really accurate. So maybe next time they will say, "Oh, my birthday is March 15, whatever year it is." And so when we do like the simple algorithm on the system, on the server side, we're not confident that, oh, this is really the same person. The same, these two records belong to the same person. That's why it requires some kind of like a manual process to review it, and then maybe based on certain evidence, and then they would say that, oh, we feel confident that these two records actually belong to the same person. So we will merge the existing record with the new record with the existing record, so that it would not create duplication in the system. So it happened quite common in medical record systems, especially for facilities like where big health facilities or health systems. They might have like inpatient services, they might have like outpatient services, emergency services, and then they use different systems, but they don't necessarily do the real-time the record merge lookup or merge across 3 different systems. So that's why you can see that sometimes in the big health systems, the patient might have like the inpatient ID and then emergency ID, and then the outpatient ID, and then they still need to merge into one record so that it doesn't appear to like multiple records.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Ada.
Yeah. So right now, like for example, let's say that I'm just making it assumption on the registration. I want to work on something simple first, because on the registration queue, it doesn't mean that this record has error. It's not like because of invalid ID or something like that. It's just saying that, hey, we have a new request for creating a new record, and we need some kind of confirmation on the server side to say that this is really a true case of new record, or there might be like some records that maybe really belong to the same client. We need some kind of manual process to review. And then if it's true case, and then we need some kind of UI in here and saying that, hey, move this new request temporary UID and merge to the existing record. And especially for cases like when the demographic data in the system is different from what the demographic data that from the mobile side collected, which ones should we trust? So let's say that the names is exactly the same, the birthday is exactly the same, the ID is exactly the same, but then the gender, one saying that's male, the other one saying it's female. Which one do we? I mean, even the best algorithm might not be able to tell you which one is really. So we trust the server side record or trust the mobile side record. So we need some kind of like rules or some kind of like UI options for the users to say that, hey, we should pick the gender from the server side, or we should pick the gender collected from the mobile side, and then update the patient record from the server. That's it. Does it make sense for everyone?
Yeah. Ira, just a quick question here, but how would the person actually know, like you said, like how would they know whether which of the two records is actually the correct one to
Yeah.
use?
So good question. So they empath, they've been doing this for a while, so they come up with some kind of method. For example, when let's say that the conflict, the data that which conflict in each other is the gender. Let's say that one's male, one's a female. They can go back and look at certain past. That means that the clients already exist in the system, right? Because that's why we find conflicting information. And usually the clients already in the system, they might have a collection of data, past encounters and observation collected so far. So they can look at maybe, certain form can only be filled by female, and then certain question can only be answered by female, so that from those evidence they can confirm that, hey, this is really a true case of female instead of like a male. If for the cases saying that, hey, there's no existing data in the system to provide that kind of information, they can simply call the provider or call the clients just to confirm, and then they will update in the database.
So, question, Edda. I can see the two different UUIDs displayed on the interface on the UI. Are you planning to also have like the universal ID displayed as one of the fields? Or
This is So this is really like this is just like the current UI. If we want to discuss what information that you guys think to display on this page might be helpful, and then from there, let's say you click the message.
Okay.
And then you click the message. It displayed more metadata here, right?
Okay.
And then let's say that, now I want to see whether is any existing record, and then we can say that, the name is correct, but then the gender is not female, it's just supposed to be male.
Okay.
Side by side, just like the regular UI when you merge the patient record.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Win, do you want to add more information?
I think in addition to that, I want to, if you go to the queue or error data, probably the first one, the simplest way would be to reformat the JSON to make it so you can easily read the JSON, because I think this is a compact JSON without the what do you call it, spacing and
Yeah,
new
it's just
line.
one string.
Yeah, it's just one big blob of string, and it's going to be difficult to see every element in the JSON. I think that the first easy step would be to reformat this one first, and then the next one would be to create a way to edit the element of the JSON. So for example, you have the patient.family name is DG. For example, you click on that element, you can then edit the value of family patient name DG to something else. That would be into the edit mode when you want to, after you review it, the problem is the check digit is incorrect. For example, you can update the value and then put it back in the queue. But the easy first step would be to reformat the JSON to look better.
Yeah, I agree. It's so hard to see right now.
Yeah.
And also, can I add one more thing? Let's say that after reformat, you know how it looks like here, and then maybe separate into different blocks or something, smaller blocks or categories. Um, um, Only the field that which has problems should be editable, don't you think? Because, like, for example, this message is really about encounter location not found in the system. Um, so other fields should not be editable to me. And so one more question here is that, is it correct that only the error, you know, on this page, let's say that there's multiple errors instead of just one error? Would that also capture, or it just capture one error?
I think it will capture the first error and then it will throw it to the error queue immediately.
Okay, so yeah, so then other things need to be editable. But then even it's editable, they don't know until they get reprocessed.
Yeah, that is something up for discussion, I guess, Ida. If you want to display all the incorrect validation, we definitely can add those information to this error message. And then make the editable field to be only
The one that has issues.
yeah, the one that has issues.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it will be important to hear from Lawrence and Malakwan. What do you think? Because you guys will be the one who will resolve these issues.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. So, because so far we've been having to, like, for the few we've just gone through, not really reprocessed because we are not able to do that. We just carried the whole piece of code, the XML thing, into the JSON details to JSON lint. That way it reformats for us, and then that way you can look through. So I think formatting them into the specific elements, and then just allowing us to edit the fields that have issues would be the best thing. Otherwise, you can easily start messing up other fields that are okay. Then we run through the same cycle again. So I think
Because sometimes
it's a
error
brilliant
happen.
idea.
Right? So another question is, do you want it just to catch one error at a time, or is to catch all the error in the same?
Oh no! If you can be able to capture all in one go, that would be great. Because I believe fixing one and then queuing it up again, and then it ends up again in the error queue.
Yeah.
So I think one time would be good. I don't know.
So Ada, we could all. I think this is a given, but I just want to just add that we should probably be highlighting those fields in red or some color, which makes sure the person actually knows that these are the ones that you. And probably the error message that is in the box over there, which says, for example, unable to find encounter location. Maybe we could put the error message below the box. I mean, let's say if it's a select list of some sort, we put it right next to the element saying that this is the error, because sometimes people don't understand what is the error.
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's say that this is a duplicate, or let's say that it's a male patient and it's now showing female. Probably we could highlight the male and that gender box and say that, give her the appropriate error message so people will be able to fix it faster.
Yes. Yeah. We need some kind of, like, just to catch the attention of the user, saying that, hey, this is really the part that you need to pay attention to or resolve.
Right.
Good idea. So this is just, we only talk about, so far we only talk about, how the UI look like for individual error message. There's one thing we also need is to get the aggregate error message summary, so that we have an idea what are the high frequency, the frequencies of different type of errors, so that we can allocate, more resources on those with high frequencies. So that means go back to the previous page here. Like for me, it's helpful to look like this, but then, like, for example, I cannot even tell, like, because everything is stuck with unable to process queue. So, like, to me it become, um, these two columns here, I cannot even tell what the difference are, except maybe the date or the submitted date or process on or what kind of message they are. So I think we also need to revise this, revise this page as well. So I want to hear from you guys what your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I think the error message ought to be a bit specific to the error that's related to the form as it ends up in the error queue. So it would actually be good to have that displayed under the error message box.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if possible. I think that's a UI issue. If you can even be able to just be able to sort those, and then maybe if you're tackling a specific error, it's much easier because you're concentrating on the same fields. That way you can move faster. And like when a registration comes after a dispensary form, and then it's I think it's a bit tricky when you're jumping over from different forms to resolve them. So I don't know if that.
Yeah. So how you guys want to look like? So Twitter has a very good suggestion. Like we just add filter. So maybe the filter can filter out not just about error type, but also what type of forms.
Yes.
Or like even like more information. Maybe maybe specific to a certain provider or specific to a certain location or things like that. Because I know that some people may be assigned on only, taking care of like a certain catchment area.
Yes.
And things like that. So Lawrence, can I put you on the spot? Can I request you to help us to do like a mock-up for this page and also the next page? You don't need to do the code, just the mock-up, how it looks like.
You mean
So just like a UI mock-up, how this page look like?
Yes.
And also the specific error message.
Yeah.
We discussed earlier. How the UI look like for this page. I think you have a lot of good. You know what we're talking about, and also you have a lot of experience and thoughts on this one, and it would be helpful for us to have a mock-up from you guys, and then it's just easier to see it and then comments further to refine it. Would that be possible? Lawrence?
So you want me to do that right away, Eda?
Not right away, and you can think about it and then share
Yeah.
with us like sometime next week, through the listserv.
Brilliant. I think I can do that. I can plan for that.
Yeah, I think it would be. You have been doing implementation for for a few years, and you have a lot of good experience, and also because all these error messages become nightmare for you guys, and I think you guys have better thoughts than we do. So it would be good just to see what you guys have, and then other team member can comment further and say refine a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll plan for that for next
Thank
week.
you so much, Lawrence. So we just want to recap. We agree that the error message, not just to catch the first error, but to catch all errors. And then on the individual error message page, we will have all these elements in the JSON and then put them into different block or different sessions just for easy display, and also maybe highlight or to somehow the UI maybe different color or whatever to highlight those the elements which has error data or issues that we need to be reviewed and resolved. And once only those fields elements which has problems, they are editable. The others information should not be editable, just to avoid any further typo or mistakes. And then once all those error messages got resolved, it would you can save it and then put in the queue again for processing. Did I capture the summary okay, or did I miss anything?
Yeah, that sounds comprehensive.
Okay, cool. So for the previous page, it needs to have some kind of maybe filtering things on the top. Also summary as well. Summary is important for us to, just to get a sense how many different type of errors with the, how frequent they happen. And then from there you can filter out saying that, I only want to look at certain error message with a specific type or within a specific time frame, or maybe particular form and things like that, so that it helps with filtering those messages out and assign to people to triage them accordingly. Did I miss anything else?
Ira,
Go
I just
ahead.
have a suggestion. I don't know if we can use this, but the Accra site actually, the username is DV Reader
Yes.
and the password is I think mUzima.
Mm-hmm.
So over there we have something similar, like kind of similar to what you're saying. So even on the Accra site, you get multiple error logs every day,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you log in, I'll be able to show you how they. So if you go to the reports on the bottom left, so
Mm-hmm.
these are all the individual bugs, right?
Uh-huh.
Similar to a queue, but
Yes.
reports is where you have like
The user.
10, even though there are 40 bugs, there are 10 reports because some of them happen over and over again. So it kind of groups those into one report,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So maybe we could, not exactly the same thing, but just to get some
Some
ideas.
idea how it looks
And
like.
I think this is a little bit, yeah, this is a little bit advanced in the sense they have a pie chart and showing the statistics and the frequency of how often and on which device it happens. But yeah, I don't know if we could get maybe Lawrence. I don't know if this is the kind of UI that would be helpful in your situation, but you could take a look and see if you like something from there.
Mm-hmm. That's a good suggestion. Just to reference, like analyze the UI currently we have, and then just get some idea of how we can maybe take over use something similar from this one. Thanks for pointing out, Trita. Okay, cool. So this is for the error resolutions discussions, but how about the we still need. So Lawrence, would you be able to take care of the UI mockup for the registration as well?
Sorry?
So because when we first started, we start with the registration queue.
Yes.
So would you be able to have enough information to do the mockup for the registration UI as well?
Yes. I can
Okay.
actually, I'll do for both. I can plan for
Okay,
both.
great. So Win, do you want to just explain to other members who are new or not familiar with the temporary UUID and the assigned UUID?
So, so the temporary UUID. So the idea for this registration form is to record how the temporary patient generated on the device mapped to the actual patient in the OpenMRS server. So, for example, in this case, you create patient 1. If you click on that number 1, Ada,
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have that temporary UUID, and then you will have all the temporary information of the patient, and then the assigned UUID is the UUID in the server side after the patient gets created.
Mhm. So that means that before the patient record is created in the system or merged in the system, the assigned UID on would be the same as the temporary UID. But once the patient record created as a new record in the system, you will get a new assigned UID. Or if you find an existing record in the system, it would use the UID for the existing record and be updated on the assigned UID as well. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to clarify that because I think some of them wonder why they are the same number.
Yeah.
Excellent. Go
I
ahead.
think unless you have any other question, I think it's pretty straightforward, I think.
It's straightforward, but the UI is always hard.
Yeah, I cannot really, I'm kind of confused on how to make it better. You definitely can update the UI to make it way much better.
So,
Oh, go ahead. Can you guys hear me now? I'm sorry, I was on mute. I'm sorry. So I just want to, I don't know if how many of you are familiar with this page. There's already a viewing page in OpenMass that you can use a simple merge algorithm to identify some records that they have, some same information. This one is really like same information. It's not like exact match. That's what I think. Let's say that I'm just going back to undo it on this page so that you can see it. Let's say I want to look for any records that they have the same given name and family name. I can just do a search. It would list out the all these return results saying that hey, 8 records show some of them have similar the same given name and family name, and you have to pick at least 2 of the records in order to merge. So let's say that the first 2 records, because the given name and the last name are the same, so I check on it and then I say continue here. So it would bring to the UI that have the demographic information side by side. Can you see that one? So you can say that, oh, I trust the one on the left, or I trust the one on the right, and then I can do like a merge. However, you have the function saying that here you can edit this patient record. It will bring you to the demographic page so that you can update this information before the merge. Okay. So this would be something that, Lawrence, I want to highlight this page because it might be something that you can consider when doing the registration record UI resolution.
yeah.
You can reference to it.
Mhm.
So this would be something just also helpful to look at before you do the markup.
Yep.
Anyone have more comments so far?
None from me observing much.
Say it one more time.
I'm just observing. I'm
Okay.
liking it.
Okay, cool. But feel free to share more feedback on this once Lawrence have the first draft of the mockup, and Lawrence just send it through the list of the mUzima dev mailing list. I think that would be helpful. So more members can comment on it.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, just to throw you back, Eda.
Okay, go ahead.
So that I understand it well. Just go back to the error queue, the mUzima
Okay.
error. So I can see under the kind of form on the error queue we have the registration form, and then assuming we're going to have the dispensary form, for example. So with the view registration that we just looked at a while ago, does that mean the registration forms with errors are going to end up here, or at what point do they make it to the other side? I think just help me understand that flow again.
Oh, I see you. So you're asking that. So my understanding, Win, you can correct me. When the registration form has any issues, it would go to this queue first, right? After this is resolved, it would go through the registration module.
Yes. So every time any form error will go to this page. So you have registration error, it will go to this page. If you have any encounter form error, it will also go to this page.
Yeah, I think Lauren's question is, when a registration form is submitted to the server, let's say there's one error in that, would that registration form go to the error queue first, or it will go to the registration module first?
It will go to this one first.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well.
Yes.
Let me also give a comment. From my understanding, when the form is sent from the mobile device, the payload will be placed on the queue data section. If you can look at the left side, just at the top of error data. Yes, it will be placed on the queue data, and then there is a service that runs periodically to process the queue data. So after this processing, if a form was registration, it would either end up in the error data section if it was not successful, and if the processing was successful, then it would end up in the view registrations section.
Yes.
And for if a form is not registration, like the JSON encounter as well, if there was a problem, then it would end up in the error data section.
Yep, that is correct, Simon.
So by the time they're under view registration, they're already active patients in the system. mUzima.
Yep.
Okay. Clear.
So what Simon was saying, like, oh, all the message would go to the queue data, it will get processed. If there's any error, it will throw to the error data queue. If there's no error, let's say that it's a registration form, it will go to error queue, it get processed, and there's no error, it will go to the registration queue.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I hope it's clear for everyone. I think this is really good to clarify because you know, it could go here, it could go there, but then that's the right step.
And one more question.
Sure, go ahead.
Little of what I understand is we have one of the processors as JSON, right?
I would like Wayne to say.
Win, is that true?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I was asking whether JSON processor is one of the processors that we have as a module that should run on the server apart from the normal mUzima processor for maybe some of the forms to be processed.
So everything is under mUzima registration module, and currently I think we have 4 processor. One is for processing registration form based on the X form, the old X form, and then we now have, well, this is not in production yet, I think. We now have the HTML registration form processor created by Simon, and then we have the JSON encounter, so an all encounter-based form processor. And then we also have the teleconsultation processor.
Okay.
Process all teleconsultation form. That one have a bit of processing. That one is a bit different because we need to process the image and video and all the media data that will come from the form in the phone.
Okay, so that one means that on we have JSON, teleconsultation, and I think form processor on production, but we are missing HTML processor, registration form processor.
That is correct, I think, because I think it is in the module right now, but I don't think it is deployed in the module. You can test it out in this test server. It's still in testing phase right now.
Okay, I hear you.
Yep.
So we have 5 minutes left. So it'll be time for any other business, any other topics.
I think if everyone needs some more clarification, just ping us, email us if you have any question, because I think there's a lot of clarification that needs to be done.
Yeah, correct.
I think Simon has done a good job with the HTML registration form. And Simon, if you have any other question or if you have any concern, then you can just email me or Ada.
I think it would, yeah. I agree that there's a lot of clarifications might be needed, and I encourage everyone to send, if it's like related to mUzima in general, it would be good to send to the mUzima desk mailing list. If this is about implementation specific needs, I think we can keep those off from the mailing list because it's more like program specific or maybe administrative specific issues. I just want us to utilize the mUzima dev mailing list more frequent so that it can be, it has archives. So in case in future later on other new members to join, they can always search those information. Just help them. Is more transparent, I guess. So I hope that it makes sense for everyone. So if it's like saying that it's about the lag form, it's about the the CDSS reminder things, those kind of things, we probably don't want to send to the mUzima dev listserv. However, it's like general questions like, oh, how mUzima actually behave, and what assumption you guys make, and what kind of behavior I should expect when I do A, B, or C, that kind of things. Please send to the mUzima dev listserv.
Okay. That's cool, Eda.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So it's just easier for other people to join later on. They can always look at the archive. We have 3 more minutes left.
Eda, can I ask a question? Maybe
Sure,
just
go ahead.
quickly.
Yeah.
We can utilize the 3 minutes.
Sure, Simon, go ahead.
There's a mail I sent out, and it caused some discussions here and there about the locations for different programs. And this morning we had a meeting with the LAC team, so we did discuss, actually not with the LAC team, but we had a meeting about the same issue. The question is that different programs have locations that refer to either facilities or some regions or the community units or jurisdiction areas. And somehow when it comes to displaying those locations on forms, within the OpenMRS they refer to the same ID, but what should be displayed on a form should somehow be a different name that is tailored to the program. For example, there's a location in MRS with a particular ID called Mosoriot. This location is supposed to be reused by LAC and CDM. LAC refers it to as Mosoriot Community Unit, while CDM refers to it as Mosoriot Health Center.
So two different things when you think about it. Yeah, because the health center is very specific facility.
Yeah.
And then community units is more like geographical area for the community.
Yeah.
So to me, they're two different things.
Yes, now we had a discussion, and apparently some people were arguing, saying that we should make it to be the same ID within MRS. So I believe the discussion will proceed next week. But I'm raising it because I know Switha is working on pulling location IDs from the server dynamically. And I don't know how the mapping will be done. Maybe she'll be pulling and displaying the names as they are on the server side. So I can foresee a scenario where there will be some conflict across the different programs, and therefore we must think of a way, maybe as he works on it, we must think of a way of mapping those locations and the displayed names on forms.
Yeah, I don't know if they can use something like the location hierarchy, and then group those. Let's say that Missouri health centers, Missouri community unit as a Missouri's location set, something like that. That's what before 1.9 we don't have these features. This is that's why I think it become quite messy for managing or creating the location. So, and most of the time people, when they create a new location, they don't think the impact what they decide upon. They just go ahead and create it. But they don't necessarily understand what that means. For example, I thought that community units, it was new to me actually, but when I look back to the database, some of them even created more than a year ago. And it was, I think they just thought that it's just a name. They just did not think about what it really means. when they created it. So that's why we inherit all these challenges right now. And I know that you guys going to talk about it next Monday or something like that, but it would be good just to understand how the system admin team, what information they base on, or what kind of rules they base on when they create those location for facility or for a region or for like a committee unit, things like that. It would be good just to understand their logic, so that at least that we know something like that, so that we can go back and either clean it up or come up with a rule for ourselves, how to move forward. That's really what I'm looking for from all those emails. Just want to know the fact finding so far, and so that we have more information to discuss and decide what to do moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think we're on the same page, right, Simon?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, yeah, because it's very confusing when I look at it, and even like there's a lot of typo and then mixed cases and things like that. I mean, simple things. People think it's not important, but then it's important. Yeah.
Okay. So next Monday, Boniface has invited myself and Stephen to attend the management call so that we can raise the issue, because I think they'll be discussing the implications of either creating different locations for different programs or reusing the same IDs. So I believe after that meeting, maybe we shall be somewhere.
Yeah. So make sure there's at least one system admin person who actually create location before to attend. If not, it'll be difficult as well, because we don't know what they did. Yeah. Or how they did it. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Good. That is it for me. Do anyone have more topic to discuss?
Not for me either.
Okay, cool. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you, Ada.
Bye-bye.
Bye.